morning, my dear student. Today we discuss about the protein metabolism. Protein, which is the most essential compound, around 15% is body requirement, around 10 to 12 kilogram of protein in our body. This protein is one of the most important compound, which is the primary compound for the construction of the body. This protein is basically polymer of amino acid. That means the protein is composed by the 20 different amino acid. And the protein will be metabolized. Before it metabolized, there is some different process like digestion, absorption, and finally goes to the liver and it will be metabolized. So before protein metabolism, we start the different pre-metabolic procedure of proteins. So in this context, I also convey my request, please stay home and stay safe for prevent COVID-19. These are the topic which are related to protein metabolism. First of all, protein digestion and absorption. Then amino acid utilization, transamination, oxidative deamination, the urea cycle, amino acid carbon skeleton, amino acid biosynthesis, hemoglobin catabolism, and integration among the metabolic pathway. First, amino acid utilization. Basically, protein are composed by the amino acid. 20 different amino acids like aliphatic, aromatic, sulfur containing amino acid, and ultimately all the amino acids in the formation of protein. This protein which are utilized by the body and which is composed by the body and which is structural and function of the body, but this protein which cannot store, which is utilized, and that utilization can be denoted by the nitrogen balance. What is nitrogen balance? It is the state. Basically, protein is contain nitrogen, hydrogen, oxygen, and carbon. Mostly the nitrogenous compound. What is nitrogen balance? Nitrogen is the state result when the amount of nitrogen taken in the human body as protein equals the amount of nitrogen excreted from the body in the waste material. That is the relation between the intake and output. If the nitrogen is excess, it is called the positive nitrogen balance. Then the excretion. If it is negative, that is in the excess amount of nitrogen is excreted, then the intake will be the low. That's why they will be classified into the two groups on the nitrogen balance. On the negative nitrogen balance, when the protein degrade exceed the protein synthesis, this amount of nitrogen is the urine excreted the nitrogen consumption, and positive nitrogen means there is a rate of protein synthesis is much more than the excretion. During the growth and pregnancy, generally the protein will be negative, positive nitrogen balance. In case of accident and others hemorrhage, it will be negative nitrogen balance. Protein digestion and absorption. First of all, the protein will be digested, then after it will be absorption. If the digestion and absorption is not proper, the protein cannot be metabolized. Protein, first of all, you take some protein containing diet. That protein digestion, they start from the stomach because no proteolytic enzyme available in our mouth, oral cavity. It is only the pepsin which is present in the stomach, then trypsin, then intestine, and erepsin in the small intestine. So there is a 3 proteolytic enzyme present in the stomach, and this stomach in this time to time and side by side it will be metabolized. First taken by the protein, dietary protein by the stomach, that promotes the release of the gastric hormone which promotes the secretion of the pepsinogen and HCl. HCl in the stomach has the 3 functions. First function is the gastric acidity denature the protein, hereby exposing the peptide bond by the gastric acidity, and gastric acidity at the pH 1.5 to 2.5 kill almost of the bacteria. and activate the pepsinogen to active pepsin. These are the function of HCl for the protein absorption. The enzyme pepsin hydrolyzed by the 10% of the peptide bond, and large molecule passes through the stomach and small intestine, and basically the acidified protein promotes the secretion of secretin and hormone, which is stimulate the bicarbonate production with the help of the neutralization of the acidic gastric hormone, and promotes the secretion of the pancreatic digestive pepsin, chymotrypsin and carboxypeptidase. Protein digestion in the intestine, enzyme trypsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase and aminopeptidase. Ultimately, all the proteolyte, all the protein, their macromolecular compound, which is converted into the monomer compound. That means all are compound or all are converted into a free amino acid by the presence of different proteolytic enzyme in the different area of gastrointestinal tract. Ultimately, all are converted into the free amino acid for absorption. This is the schematic diagram. The protein will be digested and absorption. First, dietary protein, which is goes to the mouth, and the salivary effect. No digestion occurred due to absence of proteolytic enzyme. Then goes to the stomach, HCl and pepsin, which is hydrolyzed the stomach. Then the large polypeptide, which is hydrolyzed by the small intestine by the pepsin, chymotrypsin, carboxypeptidase, amine peptidase. This amino acid and active transport. Basically, the protein is the molecule, is the higher molecule which is transported by the active transport, because the energy will be required. Protein cannot be transported through passive diffusion because it is a higher molecular also. Then goes to the large intestine for the amino acid in the bloodstream. Then the all amino acid which is reached into the bloodstream, that is called amino acid pool. What is amino acid pool? The amino acid is formed through the digestion after into the amino acid pool in the body. Amino acid is total supply for free amino acid available for the use of human body. The amino acid pool is derived from the C sources, either dietary protein and protein turnover. These are the schematic representation of amino acid pool. What is amino acid pool? Every day 100 grams of amino acid is free in our body. Generally 300 to 400 grams amino acid is converted to protein, and another 300 to 400 gram of protein is converted to amino acid. Just like a breakdown and synthesis process every day occurred around 3 grams of protein, and around 3 grams of protein which is free, 100 grams of protein which is always all time free in our blood. That is called the amino acid pool. And how it will be formed? Generally body protein, dietary protein, the protein coming from the dietary source, and the body protein. And these are all the dietary source and synthetic and non-synthetic amino acid, all are converted to amino acid. Then amino acid which is converted to the body protein, glucose, glycogen, carbon dioxide, fatty acid, ketone body, steroid, and finally waste product urea. Another most important product which is porphyrin, purine, pyrimidine and creatinine and neurotransmitter. These are utilization. First three are body protein, dietary protein and synthetic protein for source of protein diet, and another last process which are different process which are utilized by the protein, that is called the amino acid pool. Amino acid utilization. Amino acid utilization. After free amino acid, the amino acid which is not stored in the body, just like a glucose which is converted to glycogen, add a lipid which is the fatty acid, and glycerol which is converted to adipose tissue, but protein or amino acid cannot store in the body, which is either utilized or it is excreted in the form of urea through urine. So how it is utilized? When it is first 75% of the amino acid which is in the formation of protein for different protein synthesis. Also synthesis of non-protein nitrogenous containing substances like pyrimidine, pyrimidine which is formation of the nucleic acid, and heme and hemoglobin which is for the neurotransmitter and hormone. And number 3, synthesis of the non-essential amino acid. We know there are 10 non-essential amino acid and 10 essential amino acid. This 10 essential amino acid is converted into a 10 non-essential amino acid. Another number 4 most important, production of energy. Generally carbohydrate and fat which are production of energy, but in this case protein also, if the excess amino acid is present in the body, that can be produce some energy. 1 gram of amino acid or protein which is converted to 4 kilocalorie of energy. Each amino acid has a different degradation pathway, which is let's discuss later. Amino acid utilization or degradation pathway. Here it is a amino acid degradation. Either it is a carbon portion, another is a nitrogen portion. After amino acid, basically it is a compound is a carbon, nitrogen, oxygen and hydrogen. But carbon portion which is utilized for the formation of triglyceride via fatty acid biosynthesis, glucose in the gluconeogenesis, ATP via citric acid cycle, ketone body via ketogenesis, and nitrogenous portion which is in the degraded by the elimination via urea. The most of portion will be formation of urea and biosynthesis of non-essential amino acid and biosynthesis of non-protein nitrogen containing substances. So these are the degradation and pathway of amino acid. Then transamination, another most important protein metabolism. Generally protein is metabolized by the two process. One is the transamination, another is the oxidative deamination. What is transamination? Transamination. Transamination, this is the process, that means transfer of one amino group of one amino acid to the another amino acid. That means one amino acid is converted to keto acid, another keto acid which is converted to different another amino acid. That is called the transamination. That means transfer of amino group from one amino acid which is goes to the one keto acid to another amino acid. This is called the transamination. This transamination, the enzyme catalyzed by the biosynthesis process in which the amino group, and generally the 50 transaminase enzyme are involved in this reaction for transamination. Another is oxidative deamination. In this case, generally the removal of ammonia from the amino acid or protein, that is called the oxidative deamination. It is two types, on the oxidative, another is the non-oxidative pathway. The first of all, you can see the what is transamination. Here one example, one keto acid, so amino acid 1 which is converted to keto acid. On keto acid there is reaction between the amino acid and keto acid. Suppose it is pyruvate, one is the glutamine which is converted to alpha ketoglutarate, and keto acid pyruvate which is converted to amino acid glutamine. Pink color, the amino acid which is converted to keto acid, and keto acid is converted to amino acid. Here the keto acid which is converted to amino acid, and another amino acid keto acid which is converted to amino acid. Be careful, this transamination, that means transfer of amino group from one amino acid. Suppose one amino acid glutamine, it is converted, this amino group is released, it is converted to alpha ketoglutarate, and another keto acid pyruvate which is converted to glutamate in presence of ammonia. So that means transfer of amino group from one amino acid to attach with another amino acid, that means keto acid. That means first amino acid is converted to keto acid is converted to amino acid. That is called the transamination. Transamination or oxidative deamination. Another important protein metabolism is the oxidative deamination. Oxidative and non-oxidative. Generally oxidative removal of ammonia from amino acid, and by the presence of pyridoxal pyrophosphate it is converted into the transaminase enzymes. Here is the oxaloacetate to aspartate by the PLP pyridoxal pyrophosphate, it is coenzymes, and the transaminase glutamate is converted to alpha glutarate for transamination. Here देखो, here see it, the oxaloacetate to transamination, oxaloacetate, one amino acid which is keto acid. After transaminase reaction, that amino actually reaction with the oxaloacetate and glutamine. One is the glutamate which is amino acid amino group. This amino group of amino acid of glutamate which is transferred to aspartate, and oxaloacetate is converted to aspartic acid, that is another amino acid, and this glutamate which is converted into alpha ketoglutarate, because this glutamate which release ammonia to the oxaloacetate. That's why oxaloacetate is a keto acid which is converted to amino acid like aspartic acid, and glutamate which release ammonia to formation of alpha ketoglutarate. That's why that means transaminase is the reaction amino group of one amino acid transferred to the keto group of another amino acid. That means amino acid is converted to keto acid, another keto acid is converted to amino acid. That is called transamination, and the enzyme involved in the transaminase SGOT, SGPT, serum glutamate oxaloacetate transaminase, or pyruvate dehydrogenase, and PLP pyridoxal pyrophosphate which is the coenzymes. This is transamination which is very essential for your examination also. Next, deamination. Deamination generally two type. One is the oxidative deamination, that means removal of ammonia from amino acids, that is called oxidative, and it is generally occurred in the liver, kidney, and some enzymatic oxidation. So here is the glutamate alpha ketoglutarate H2, in presence of glutamate dehydrogenase, it formation of alpha ketoglutarate. That means it release ammonia, it is formation of glutamate, that is called oxidative deamination. And in presence of oxygen, removal of ammonia, and keto acid in presence of, that means removal of ammonia in presence of oxygen, that is called oxidative deamination, but removal of ammonia from amino acid which is without oxygen, that is called the non-oxidative deamination. Non-oxidative deamination, just like a histamine which is converted to histidine is converted to histamine. Thank you all the students.